Thank you very much, Aldrin, and good morning once again to our SABC News viewers. Well, as you rightly said, we're in Pretoria, Tshwane, where on my left is the home of Netball South Africa, which is expected to be a buzz, well, for the next couple of months, 2 months to be exact, I think, 56 odd days, as you said, in as far as World Cup is concerned. Above me is a drone. On my left are all fans. Excitement is rising because we expect the bus to come through just around that vehicle, to come in here with that trophy we saw this morning on Morning Live as we are broadcasting from the Cradle of Human Kind. And I must tell you, high of activity in Pretoria or in Tshwane, as again, you know, it's history in the making, isn't it, Aldrin? We've had tournaments in South Africa, but not only have we had tournaments in South Africa, this one specifically in a year where we speak about women in sport in South Africa. We celebrate a sport that, as we heard the president of Netball South Africa say, gives her excitement, brings people together, and not only do ladies play it, but both men and women play netball, Aldrin. I've never tried my luck there, but, well, I must say my daughter's pretty good at it, but that's not the point. Today we're celebrating the Netball World Cup and its arrival in as far as Pretoria is concerned. These are the headquarters of Netball South Africa, and we expect the buses, I said, to arrive here any moment shortly, and we're going to have a chat, hopefully, to the president of Netball South Africa, and, you know, again, and some of the athletes or the players will be here with us as the mood and it builds up. And I said earlier in our crossings when we were speaking to, well, from the Cradle of Humankind, how important this tournament being in South Africa is, one. Secondly, how important it is for a legacy for our ladies to leave behind for a World Cup, because yes, it's all good and well hosting international tournaments, but you want to leave a legacy, Aldrin. You want to make sure that the future South African netballers pick up the mantle and become world beaters, so to speak. So any moment now, we're expecting the bus to come out on our right-hand side of picture, or left-hand side of picture, apologies, my right-hand side, and have a quick chat to them. In fact, since we're here, Aldrin, I'm going to try and see if I can speak to some of the people here. Guys, come this side. Please, if you don't mind, come this side and have a chat to us. We're live on SABC News right now. Aldrin Sampi, our anchor, has been asking us, what is the mood on the ground? I see you all kitted out. Your kit looks better than mine, but at the end of the day, we're all here supporting one thing, the Netball World Cup being in South Africa. I'll hold it for you, it's fine, man. Yeah, what's your feelings?
My feelings?
Yes.
Yo, I'm happy today, like Thabile, Banyana, today, 2023, Tavernal Bona, enjoy, like, Bona.
What I'm going to do, yes ma'am, speak to us. I'm going to hold it so it's fine.
Yeah, look at Thabile to celebrate for Banyana 2023 for Cape Town, Amanda.
Tell me what, I've seen some people I've seen around the world of sports. I'm going to call tell you what, Aldrin, I'm going to introduce her. I want you to introduce yourself. How are you, ma?
I'm good. How are you?
We're here today celebrating netball, but you come from another federation, but a federation that is all about sports as well.
Yes.
It's an exciting time for South Africa. It's an exciting time for women in sports in South Africa.
Absolutely. Agreed. I think as University Sports South Africa, we didn't want to miss this opportunity to welcome the World Cup trophy to the country, to Pretoria, which is where we are based. And we wanted to come and support our colleagues, Netball South Africa. I'm not sure if you know, we have a number of students who basically play netball at our competitions who've been selected into the national squad. So we are incredibly excited. We really didn't want to miss the opportunity. We're proud South Africans. Having the trophy here gives us that feeling, you know, that feeling that it's finally here and the event is taking place on our shores. So a hugely proud moment for us as South Africans.
In fact, I was speaking earlier when we were broadcasting as early as 6 o'clock on our sister program, SABC's Morning Live. How important is it to actually celebrate women in sport? We did it in, well, AFCON, we did it when 2010 World Cup was here. This year alone, we've seen ladies and women in sport, whether it's under 19 World Cup, the Pretoria Women World Cup, Banyana are going to a World Cup.
Yes.
We've got a World Cup here in South Africa. How important is it for females in sport in South Africa to understand that they are recognized by their country and we appreciate them.
Yeah. As women in sport in South Africa, this is what we've dreamed of. This is what we've always wanted for young girls to see that they can rise and they can become national heroes in their own country. For myself as a young administrator that's come through the ranks, this is what we've lived for. So to finally have so many women's competitions taking place in South Africa, being backed by major corporates, it's a dream come true, and we can only grow from this point.
Most importantly, you're wearing sports, you're wearing South African colors, you're wearing embracing what it is about you today. So I'm going to say it to you, and as far as our viewers are concerned, I'm going to put you in the spot. Who's going to win this one? Because first we have to get out of our group. Our group is not easy.
Yes, we've got a very tough group, but we're backing our girls. We want this trophy to stay at home. I think that the Federation has given them phenomenal support. The corporate sponsors have given them phenomenal support. The fact that the players are contracted and can solely focus on preparation for this competition, they've never had this before. So we have huge expectations as a nation, and we back them unreservedly, 100%. The trophy must stay in South Africa.
The trophy to stay in South Africa, well, that's the word we're getting here in Pretoria. And I must tell you one thing. It's an important point that was raised there. So many times and oftenly in South African sports, when we speak about our female athletes, and apologies when I say our, or South African athletes, especially females, they have to juggle a couple of things, Aldrin, whether they are mothers. In fact, they're mothers first. They are homemakers as well. And sports for them is more of a part-time job. As you heard right there, it's good to have corporate South Africa get on board, sponsor these ladies in sports in South Africa, make sure that at least they take whatever sport they do as a permanent job and get a salary, make a living out of it. Because, well, if you're going to compete against the likes of your New Zealanders, your Australians, your Jamaicans, your Welsh, your English, you have to be solely concentrating on the sport that you're doing, because they are powerhouses. As you heard, hopefully South Africa remains the last team standing as far as the Netball World Cup 2023 is concerned. Aldrin?
And I have to say, Thabiso, that as that meme goes, I wish this can happen each and every after 2 weeks or monthly.
After every day, Aldrin, I'll take that as well. I'd like to be here every day celebrating women in sports, celebrating South African sports, celebrating the people who fly the flag high. In fact, on my right-hand side, Aldrin, there's the Loftus Veldspes Stadium, where, again, we had the first, one of the first in the country, where a Women's Rugby World Cup was established. And they were part of, well, progression, isn't it? If you want to have equality in sports, you need to give women in sports the level playing ground, so to speak. So Loftus Stadium, just around the corner there, that's where the ladies, and they make a bulk of, well, they make up anyway, the bulk of the female Springbok rugby team. So yes, 2023, the world of, well, the year of women in sports in South Africa. And as you said, and as you heard all the people are speaking to saying throughout the day, this trophy is staying in South Africa as we celebrate South African women in sports. Aldrin.
And just a final one on that part is this decision that has been taken to actually have the trophy go through all 9 provinces. And we know what happened after the 2019 Rugby World Cup, where the Springboks, of course, won the World Cup. But then the complaints from some people was that we don't even get an opportunity to see the World Cup. But now there is this opportunity for South Africans all across the country in each province to get a glimpse of this cup.
Indeed, Aldrin. So I think, it's one of those things, isn't it? Because eventually the World Cup does not really belong to the host country or the country that wins it. There are, there are stipulations on how far you can keep it. And to be honest as well, let's be fair to the athletes. After being in, competition for 2 months, 3 months, you need your break. You want to go back to your family. You miss your kids. And as much as I remember, because I was on tour when the 2019 Springbok World Cup tour happened, we were all over the country, and seeing fans such as these, Aldrin, around the country, it becomes a bit difficult sometimes after the World Cup or any tournament to keep those those athletes in bay. Imagine, we've got 9 provinces, and to travel to every capital of the province is going to be a bit difficult. So hopefully, and I think what is happening now with this trophy actually doing its tour across the country. It's a good thing. 56 days to the World Cup. It started in KZN where it landed. We just picked it up this morning via Morning Live from Mogale City, that of course being the Krugersdorp area, is now in Tshwane. Later on today we're going to the Hartfeld Arena where there'll be an exhibition match. Then it's going to move across the country, Elgin, and hopefully everybody gets the feel of the World Cup trophy and get a feel of the netball tournament as those ladies dance away. It reminds me of Philip was here, Elgin, and hopefully this is the mood that South Africa will be captivated by for the next 56 days or so, and ultimately South Africa, as you can see there, lifts that trophy.